Today on the Morning Edition, the Seward Highway is back open after a serious crash shut it down for hours between Portage and Girdwood. We'll share what we know about the Memorial Day wreck. Plus, a student jazz band takes the stage for what could be its final performance. East Anchorage High's band program is on the chopping block. We'll share an emotional goodbye and the last-ditch effort to save the band. And later, tumbling down a hill, chasing a wheel of cheese, the centuries-old race that leaves competitors bruised, battered, and this year baked in record-breaking heat. The Morning Edition starts now. Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us today. Hope you had a great Memorial Day. It was absolutely stunning for weather.
Yeah, I mean, we saw some sunshine, fairly dry conditions. Those temperatures did warm into the mid to upper 50s, so we did see a nice stretch of weather. But you may have noticed this morning, really starting late last night, those clouds began to build back in across South Central, and we have another wet week to be expected, more so for coastal areas as we head throughout this week. Now, temperature-wise, we're sitting at 43 degrees this morning with winds remaining fairly gusty out of the south-southeast, upwards of 30 miles per hour. So we are going to favor some breezy conditions today across South Central. But as far as those temperatures, not bad to start off the morning. 30s and 40s is where we are sitting at. Now, as we went into the over the weekend, holiday weekend, we did see temperatures dip down near freezing, which was a brand new record low. And that kind of gives you an idea of just the overall cool weather pattern that we've been situated up under, despite the slow warming that we have been seeing. Now, rain is with us across coastal areas. You can see inland locations, much like we did see last week. We're largely going to stay on the dry side. Can't rule out a stray shower or two, but if you live out towards coastal areas, be prepared for some wet weather that's going to stick around for a good portion of this week. We've also got rain out towards southwest Alaska, Bristol Bay through the Alaska Peninsula, so coastal areas of southern Alaska continue to hold on to some of this active weather. We've got temperatures today warming into the 50s as we head throughout the afternoon. We'll see some sunshine for parts of South Central, but largely expecting the stretch of that cloud cover, cloudy conditions to remain with us as we head through a good portion of this week. So coming up in my full forecast, wet weather remains for coastal South Central. Breakup conditions are actually winding down across the state. We'll have the latest on that, as well as thunderstorm activity will begin to increase through parts of the interior. I'll have more on that in that 7-day forecast for you coming up.
The Seward Highway is back open this morning after a crash that shut down the highway in both directions for several hours on Memorial Day. The Anchorage Police Department posted about the crash on its website and social media around 4:30 yesterday. It happened near mile 80, which is just between Portage and Girdwood. The Girdwood Fire Department also responded and posted on its social media that traffic was being rerouted. Anchorage Police posted an update at 11 last night that the highway had been reopened. No further details were provided about the crash or any potential injuries. Check out our website for updates as we learn more. One person is dead after an officer-involved shooting in Utqiagvik just after 4 p.m. Saturday. That's according to Alaska State Troopers. It says 2 North Slope Borough Police Department officers shot at a man after responding to a report of a domestic violence assault. Troopers say the suspect was barricaded behind a door. While officers were breaching the door, troopers say the man emerged with a knife. Troopers say both officers fired. AST says the man was taken to the hospital but died, and one officer had a minor knife injury. The Alaska Bureau of Investigation is looking into what happened, and the Alaska Office of Special Prosecutions will independently review the findings. Anchorage's airport says TSA screening lines are back to the season's normal after days of extended wait times last week. This is video from Thursday when the lines were much longer than usual. The airport was urging passengers to get there with time to spare both Thursday and Friday, as TSA said that there were issues with new security equipment and intermittent outages affecting X-ray screening. The airport said over the weekend travelers should still get there with enough time to park, check bags, and clear security since we are in the busy summer season. A high school jazz band fights for its future after the 2027 Anchorage School District budget that features cuts to art programs passed in April. Charlie Fellows shares what happens next to the school's band director and how students hope to bring the program back.
I know for a lot of kids, including myself, music was the only reason why we went to school.
More than just music, it's my home. I don't think I'm comfortable anywhere band room at my school.
The East Anchorage High School Jazz Band performed at Club Nightlight on Saturday in its final show of the year and potentially for longer.
I'm really disappointed that we might not have the program next year because we won't have these big crowds to come watch us.
District-wide staff cuts and subsequent shuffling in mid-April stemming from the Anchorage School District's 2026-27 budget.
Support in the arts will look different, including the reductions and loss of an assistant director.
Resulted in East High's band director, Todd Barton, being transferred to Eagle River in a part-time position, leading the school to cut the band program.
It's been a very emotional time for the program and the kids. And what we're trying to do right now is set the kids up for some success next year with whatever happens.
The show doubled as a fundraiser in the hope of raising enough money to hire one-on-one instrument specialists to restaff and resuscitate the program, at least in part. According to Barton, however, his fate is out of their hands, as he'd need one-time state funding to keep his position at East. With Saturday's show then potentially being his last with the school, that weighed heavy on his students' minds.
Mr. Barton is like another dad to me. I have my dad, I have my stepdad, and then there's Mr. Barton. He's like, being in his office is like my safe place. Being in his room is like my safe place. And everything I've learned from him, whether it's music or not, is just so valuable and so important to me, and it's just very much a heartbreak that he could be leaving us.
Charlie Fellows, Alaska's news source.
The band director says the group made more than $5,000 from the event. He says the band students are scheduled to become part of an orchestra class, and the department will have to take 10 sections of music down to 5. Alaska's news source has reached out to ASD for further clarification on that, as well as comment on music and arts funding across the district for the upcoming school year and what it means for East High's band, but we've not yet heard back. In national headlines, a Memorial Day parade rolled through the streets of Washington, D.C. on Monday. People lined the streets to watch the festivities, from floats to marching bands to people holding photos of their loved ones. And even George and Martha Washington all marched in Monday's National Memorial Day parade. Construction crews have started on the arena for next month's UFC fight at the White House. The open-air stadium on the South Lawn, complete with an octagon fighting ring, is expected to hold some 5,000 spectators attending the UFC Freedom 250 event on June 14th, which also corresponds with President Trump's 80th birthday. The league is also planning for as many as 85,000 people to watch on massive screens from the Ellipse, a patch of turf just south of the White House. U.S. forces bombed more locations in southern Iran overnight. The Pentagon says they were defensive strikes aimed at military targets near the Strait of Hormuz, and that the ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran still holds. Iran responding with a warning this morning and claims that it shot down a U.S. drone. All of this as President Trump is set to undergo a third medical checkup in the past 13 months. Chris Pallone reports.
A trip to Walter Reed Medical Center in Washington on tap for President Trump today. Mr. Trump turns 80 next month and is often seen with bruises on the back of his right hand. The president also sometimes appears to be drowsy in meetings. But in a February interview with NBC's Tom Yamas, Mr. Trump insisted he's in excellent health.
I feel great. I mean, physically and mentally, I feel like I did 50 years ago.
The checkup a day after the president honored the nation's war dead, including the 13 service members who have died during the Iran war.
These incredible men and women gave their lives to ensure that the world's #1 state sponsor of terror will never have a nuclear weapon.
Even as the U.S. conducted new defensive strikes in southern Iran overnight, talks to end the war continue. President Trump posting that negotiations are proceeding nicely and that the end result will be a great deal for all or no deal at all. A senior administration official says the president's plan calls for the immediate reopening of the Strait of Hormuz and the start of a 60-day clock for talks on Iran's nuclear program and its enriched uranium. buried by last summer's U.S. strikes. Iran pushing to control traffic through the strait indefinitely.
The straits need to be open, unimpeded, without tolls, and obviously that needs to happen immediately.
But in a new post this morning, Iran warns it will respond decisively to any violation of the ceasefire and claims it shot down a U.S. drone. Lawmakers from both parties eager for a deal, even if it's short term.
The farmers here in Kentucky can't afford the fertilizer to put on their fields, so heck yes, I would support it.
A potential complication? President Trump says any deal to end the war should require more Middle Eastern countries to join the Abraham Accords, an agreement he brokered which attempts to normalize relations with Israel. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
Still ahead on the morning edition, traveling to a center to lose weight looks a little different these days. We'll be back with the programs tackling gut health and weight loss drugs.
Hopefully you enjoyed the nice Memorial Day weekend, but as far as what we are going to see this week, well, more rain showers will be expected across coastal South Central. I'll have more on that and the latest on breakup conditions, but first at sunrise, 446 in Anchorage, 538 in Bethel.
Welcome back in on this Tuesday morning. Yesterday, Aaron, Memorial Day, sunny blue skies. Looks like a little more cloud cover this morning.
And that is bringing some rain showers to South Central, more so confined to coastal areas, and that's going to stay with us as we head through a good portion of this week. Before we get to that, we are going to look at the latest on those breakup conditions as the ice jams are beginning to wind down across the vast majority of the state. You can see numerous rivers across Alaska are sitting open. We really have to head north of the Brooks Range before we see some of those waterways still frozen. As you head along the Yukon River, this is where we continue to see some of those concerns, particularly out towards Mountain Village. That break up front was moving steadily downstream near the River Mile 45 with a nearly continuous 40-mile run of some ice. And we do have some flood warnings in effect for areas of southwest Alaska. And this comes as those ice jams are still with parts of the state. Now, as far as those temperatures, we're waking up to 30s and 40s across a good portion of the state. Fairbanks at 50 degrees along the slope, not as chilly, but we are seeing some temperatures dipping down into the 20s as we start off your Tuesday morning. And we are going to see, for the most part, temperatures across the state this week will continue to remain fairly nice. For many areas, we're going to be warmer than what we did see last week. Here's our area of low pressure. That's keeping rain with us through southwest Alaska as you head out towards Norton Sound here in South Central. And we've also got some persistent rain showers that's building through parts of the interior as we start off your Tuesday morning. But as far as coastal areas of South Central, we are going to favor rain sticking around through a good portion of this week. Really from today into tomorrow is going to be that better shot for seeing some rain for coastal areas. Notice inland locations. We can't escape the week without a stray shower or two, but we will continue to favor ample dry time for inland locations. So we'll see the occasional sunshine breaks. And of course, we'll largely hold on to some cloudy conditions this week as we head through a good portion, really as we head through the last final days of May. But notice by the end of the week, we are going to see some dry time returning to coastal areas, with inland areas of South Central seeing that best shot for some rain arriving Saturday into Sunday. So coastal areas, this is where we are going to see that rain sticking around through most of this week. 1 to about 3 inches of rainfall looks possible. You can see just some spot showers will build into western parts of the Kenai, north into the valley. And again, our best shot of rain really builds in as we welcome in the weekend. So that's what we're going to be watching Saturday into Sunday for inland areas, as we will see about a scattered to periodic chance for some of those rain showers. Temperature-wise this week, we are going to be warmer than where we have been sitting at for a good portion of May. We'll break into the 50s today. We'll see some sunshine breaks, but largely expecting mostly cloudy skies to stay with us as we head through the final few days of May. And then check out these temperatures. We're still holding in the mid-50s, but we're going to be warmer than where we've been sitting at for the last couple of weeks across South Central. Again, largely on the dry side. We are going to be watching Saturday and Sunday for that next best shot for some rain building into inland areas. We have yet to officially hit our first 60-degree day of the season. That does look like we could see a possible chance at that as we welcome in Monday of next week. But as far as the rest of this week, we'll stay with those temperatures in the mid to upper 50s, Kristen. Thankfully, though, not too terribly wet, but we will see those rain showers continuing for the coast.
All right. Thanks, Aaron. Well, wanting to lose weight or detox while traveling is part of the quickly growing global market of wellness tourism. Health retreats are offering new takes on how to do it. Wendy Gillette visited a few.
Thai herbs are spread on the stomach as part of the Enriched Gut program at Kamalaya Koh Samui in southern Thailand. Then warm through a towel to help improve digestion. Gut treatments range from the very old, traditional Chinese medicine, including lighting herbs and putting them in a box that's laid on the stomach, and cupping, in which suction cups are applied to the abdomen, to the very new, such as ozone and hyperbaric oxygen therapies.
Our philosophy is to really focus on your cellular and your metabolic health. And from internally, you will then feel better externally.
Feeling better is defined by the individual guest, detoxing, losing weight, or just getting healthier.
We are having over-processed diets. Cortisol levels are very high because people are constantly back and forth with their work, and lifestyle patterns are not very good.
GLP-1 drugs now being used for weight loss have brought a very different program to Portage Longevity Center here in Miami. It focuses on patients using the medications and figuring out next steps.
While Portage has been in the business of offering programs for weight loss and disease prevention for 50 years, this is a recent addition as GLP-1 drugs increase in popularity. A KFF tracking poll recently found nearly 1 in 8 U.S. adults are currently taking the medications.
Lifestyle is the engine behind a longer health span and lifespan, and GLP-1s can help turbocharge it for those that need it.
Pritikin, one of those where we stayed for a special rate, provides medical evaluations overseen by doctors, healthy meals, group exercise sessions,
4 minutes left,
and lectures.
How to eat well, move well,
while guests sleep in comfort. The GLP-1 program is designed to create a path to eventually stop using the drugs or decrease the dosage.
To really have sustainable success long term, you have to change your lifestyle. You have to change the way you eat, the way you exercise.
Pritikin estimates about 1 in 6 guests are taking GLP-1 medications. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
The sector of global wellness tourism is projected to eclipse $1 trillion for the first time this year and more than double by 2035, according to Global Market Insights.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting. Available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.